Well, amazingly, 2011, it's already come and gone. My intention was to spend a lot more time this year thinking about my thinking. A great place to be thinking about your thinking is up in the sky, and it didn't take very long to be able to get back into a plane. The first stop was beautiful Geneva in Switzerland. Who should I run into first? None other than the great Andy Penaluna. We both had the great honour of being asked to attend the United Nations and discuss the issue of entrepreneurship education. On the topic of enterprise education, I don't think there's anyone else who really gets me thinking about my thinking other than Andy Penaluna. Great man. Speaking of great men, Gianfranco Walsh, always one prepared to be very hospitable. Our visit to the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp was a very sombre experience, and really brought into reality the tragedies that occurred during the Second World War. The mood definitely picked up with a quick visit to Coventry in the UK to see Harry Matlay, otherwise known as Harry the Great. It was a real treat to be able to have a walk around Clumber Park with Kate and Paul Beresford and to take in some real cool air. The long-awaited arrival of Professor Morgan Miles got off to a good start. Swinburne University hosted the last AGCE conference, and it was great to catch up with all my fellow colleagues from around Australia and a few from overseas. This time the rest of the family tagged along, and while I was doing the hard work, they were at the zoo, taking in all the animals. Or perhaps they were being the animals around desserts. Then it was time for school again, and little Turlakan got her first opportunity to get the school uniform on. It was also time for me to have my first experience of an operation where I wasn't actually awake. But my voice, as you can hear, is back to normal. Wasn't a great summer here, but there was still plenty of time to get to the beach and have some fun. Catherine's birthday meant time for the family to get together and start that silly season all over again. Well, the pizzas kept coming out of the oven, and my thinking of pizzas continued. But you can't keep a good man down, and it was time to get back into the air. This time, destination Swansea, Wales. Well, I think I did a reasonable job to fit in at the Elvis conference. What do you think? But there was to be trouble straight away. Simon and Andy waiting to ambush me, as usual. Luckily for me, there was Blair and Kath and Harry to rescue me from Andy's devilish plans. Harry was at his most inspirational best, inspiring people to, well, you see for yourself. Well, Matt Draycott could be relied upon to bring a different type of love into the world, a love of amber. Good on you, Matt. And there was more hard work to be done with Dermot Breslin and Jen Moore in sunny Sheffield. However, it was time to get home, and actually it was time to get back on a plane and give my wife some of the action. And Singapore was the place to be, and a great place to be. And for Catherine, the food tasted a little bit closer to home. Seems like that love was still in the air, I think. Well, Tasha turned 15, and gee, she and her friends actually get dressed up looking like they're older than 15, don't they? Well, it was time to get back to Germany and do some more hard work with Gian, who kept me on my toes. I spent some time with the PhD students there, and they kept me on my toes too. Being in Germany provided an opportunity to catch up with Patrick again, and that was great. We'll look forward to seeing you again in 2012. Well, I wasn't back for long, and then it was time to get on another plane, and this time head over towards the States. Special trip this time though. First, July 4 celebrations, and who better to spend it with than the fantastic Mr. Barry Maltz. Well, Barry and Sarah can always be counted on to bring together a really eclectic bunch of people who are super interesting, and I had a whale of a time. Then it was time to continue the firm survival studies over in Vermont, and the weather was fantastic, and I had a fantastic time there having a good look around. Well, Catherine found a local shop that sells Philippines ice cream, so she's happy. MBA class in the second semester, pretty stock standard stuff. I'm sure you guys all have your students dressing up as drag queens. Nothing out of the ordinary here, I don't think. Happy birthday, Delson, and yes, my son, I'm very proud of where you're heading. Well, more planes, trains and automobiles. This time, back to Coventry for the IEEC conference. Fantastic event. Bumped into David Gibson, and apparently he's still number one. Now, the conference dinner was held in Coventry Cathedral. Pretty stunning place, and I got to tell you, it really worked once AC/DC came on later in the evening. Well, super proud of a group of my students who raised $1,500 for a local charity through one of their entrepreneurship events. Well done, girls. Fantastic. Well, you know you're getting old when you attend a 30-year high school reunion, but I got to tell you, it was an absolute blast, and I'm looking forward to the 40th. Always nice to go out and have a little bit more pizza. It's always nice to pretend to fish, isn't it? You know you're not going to catch anything. It's just nice to stand there and pretend. I had the great honour to attend the World Entrepreneurship Forum in Singapore. Absolutely brilliant, mixing ideas with so many people from so many different backgrounds. Gotta admit, pretty tough setting though. The humidity was a killer. And it was great to catch up with new and old friends. The brainstorming sessions that we attended and worked through were fantastic. So many different people from different backgrounds with different perspectives. Really, really valuable thinking. I was really proud to see so many students graduating from the Vice-Chancellor's Leadership Award this year at UTAS. But alas, another plane had my name on it. Well, I arrived in Washington to do a statistics course, and that was pretty tough going. The sights around Washington, however, were pretty spectacular, and I have to say, very, very interesting. Managed to drop in and have a quick chat to Abe. However, pizza research awaits no man, and it was time to drop across to Truro in Nova Scotia, Canada, and check out what was going on there. As always, inspired to create something at home for the rest of the family. Well, despite the home renovation that's happening, Christmas spirit has arrived. Merry Christmas to you all, and I hope that it's going to be a happy new year for you all. Well, super proud of Tulakan for her performance in the dance concert, which is run by Centre Stage Dance, which is run by our own Kate Smith. Fantastic. Well, you know I love talking about failure. I tried to climb that promotions later this year, got knocked straight back down, so there's a little failure to work with. I look forward to coming back and seeing if we can do better next time. Well, as always, fantastic to see so many students graduating, and I wish you all the best, and I hope that you enjoy life's adventures. Well, to 2012, what's it going to be about? For me, it's going to be thinking about my reading and reading about my thinking. And this is where I'm going to start.